Hey guys, this is Tim Gift from Lowe's Southern Farms. So, I know the other day we talked about, putting a pipe in our, well, when I left off on the video, I talked about putting a pipe in our pond. As you can see, it was full. It's not now. The leak kind of took hold, so we're pretty much back to square one on this thing. So I got a few ideas we'll probably do this summer. Not really too worried about it right now. Got bigger things that we're working on. I'm trying to get everything up to par. We'll be taking you guys on a journey with. Let me check this real quick. Okay. Make sure the mic was on. So we did get our drain installed. We did put a pitch on it to make sure that our water ran out like it was supposed to. So, kind of here's what we come up with. I'll show you real quick. You can see, excuse the bad camera work. So this is what we've done. And you can see down at the main bottom there, we've got a really good pitch on this thing. So it'll leave the water level about a foot below the dam. See that? Then we ditched it out. So I actually got down here and played in the mud yesterday. That day we were shooting this. So the reason we didn't shoot it, our battery actually started running a little bit dead, so couldn't shoot it that day. Anyways, so that's where we ended up with that. We took some bags of concrete, put in the pond, just trying to seal off some stuff. Didn't work. But anyways, we do have, at least some water in the pond that stays here pretty much year round, and some pretty deep parts of the pond. Probably won't put any fish in here until we get some more water back in here. We'll probably end up putting some more bitmite in, rubbing it into the soil, see if we can get that to work. So I do have some very exciting news, so I'll bring you guys along for that news here in just a moment. So far our fence is working very well. We still need to put some electric around it, and I'm working on that. That won't take but a minute. We got our charger sitting up there waiting to be plugged in. So today we took a little road trip. We've been looking for female goats for our boys, or our pygmies. Very, very hard to come by. Everybody that I text on Craigslist, GoLSN, Facebook, everybody's got other people coming to look at them before me. And literally, I text a woman or man the other night, well actually last night, and I was going to go actually get them today, and she said she's promised them somebody, and they had been on there for 2 hours. So if that tells you anything, very, very quickly leaving. But what is not in high demand, and what you can find, for some reason, you can't find goats, but you can find these little gals and males very, very easily. And I'll take you and show you here in just a moment what I'm talking about. So we picked these up today for about $200 a piece, and they're our newest addition to our herd, pretty much, if you want to say that. Ooh, look what's behind me. So we've got some sheep. So we pretty much, I told you guys at the beginning that we were looking at getting sheep, possibly, or goats. Well, we got both. So worked out well for everybody. Now these ladies here are part Dorper and part Katahdin. So, and we are going to get a Katahdin male tomorrow. I'll show you guys that video once we get him. So I know people say that sheep don't graze to the ground. At least that's what I've read online. That's a lie. So just put it that way. They are little lawnmowers, probably worse than our goats. So it's nice to have this new addition to our farm. I told you guys we would be expanding, and that's what we're working on. So this is a long-term thing that we're going to do as part of our probably retirement. And that's what we're working on right now. So these are our new addition, our new ladies to the farm. And we're still hoping to find some female goats to take care of our boys and produce goats as well. But we will be rotational grazing each and every one of our animals. That's the game plan. So pretty much they'll be under a intensive grazing program like I've been studying on and seeing for years. I mean, this is not something that I just jumped in haphazardly overnight. So if you go, not to say I know everything about goats and sheep. No, I don't. And you don't really know until you actually get out there and do it. At least that's the way I learn. So to say I know everything, no, I don't know everything. I just know that I've done my research and stuff, and I know that around here, goats are in a lot higher demand than sheep. That's another reason that we wanted to have some females. Not to say sheep aren't, because they are. A lot of people buy them too, but they don't go as well as goats. But sheep are a lot easier to find to start with. So if you're looking to start into something, sheep's not a bad option. Like I said, these are Katahdins. These are part Katahdin, part Dorper. Now, these sheep will get anywhere from around, I want to say 120 pounds to 150 for the females, and almost up to 170 for the males. So the males get very large. So we're going to use these to mow. We're also going to sell some. We still got a lot more fencing to do. This is just a start, so we're only starting with 3. That's all we're starting with. I didn't really want to get into it and spend, $1,500, $2,000 for a herd and not have a clue what I was doing or the facilities to house them during cold spells. Because I know our goats, like I said before, goats are the ones that we have, like the Pygmies and the Nigerians, they do not like the cold weather. And our boys don't like it. We actually have a heat lamp in there on them right now. But they're out. Even though it's cold today, they're out and they're laying in the sun and wanting out of the pen, but we just not let them out. Like I said, to say that we know everything, we don't, but we're learning. We don't. And we're going to keep on doing our research and doing our best that we can to make sure we take care of what we have. Because I think once we learn what they need the most, in minerals and things like that way, we will be better growers and be able to sell them better and charge a higher price for them. Yeah, we are going to sell goats and sheep, and yeah, we are going to raise some sheep for meat. That's the plan. At least one a year will go by the way of the slaughter. So that's just what we're going to do. So anyways, that's what we're doing today. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing that little sneak peek. I'll get another video out tomorrow, and you guys will see the male ram that we pick up. We're actually paying probably around $150 for him. He's actually a little cheaper. So, but these ladies are in good shape. I hope the male's in just as good shape as them. I think it'll add a lot to our starting of what we're doing. And like I said in the past, we're hoping to get this started, and then as it grows, we'll get more and more animals and more sales and expand. So that's the idea. So we can have a decent retirement. Let's put it that way. So anyways, that's what we're working on. I've got to go, and I'll kind of show you guys where we're going to keep the sheep. I'm a little overprotective, if you can tell. We've got our perimeter fence around that I showed you guys that we built. And if you've not seen that video, you can look that up on our channel. But I've also got a place for these gals to go tonight, and we've got to get them in there. So as you can tell, our goats are in their own little pen, our chickens are in their own little pens, and they're inside the fence. We still have a set of chickens out here to the right of me, but you know, our dog usually keeps everything ran off, so it's not too bad there. So anyways, we'll go ahead and I'll show you the inside of the barn, what we got set up for the sheep. Let's go spread some straw and lay that down. It's a good bedding for them, and get these gals ready for bed. These boys don't know what to think about these sheep. So here's our little pygmies. They're having a really don't like these sheep too much. Say hi, boys. I don't think they know what to think about the camera either. Told you guys, they eat it to the ground. So anyways, put Shaman up through here. Let's get in here and I'll show you guys what we're doing. So we kind of made this pen. This is not, like I said before, it doesn't have to be beautiful, it just has to be functional. So you can make, I mean, if you want to make it look beautiful, that's up to you as a individual, but you're going to spend more money, you know, trying to make something beautiful, especially if you're trying to, sorry about the darkness here, especially, you know, when you get into just starting out. You know, don't try to, if you spend all your money on your fence and all that stuff just starting out, you're going to go in a hole. So if you, let me sit down here real quick, just talk to you guys real fast. So, you know, our fence and stuff, I would say costed around close to $1,000. Just our perimeter fence, just that little fence that you guys seen. Now we have, you know, we bought, I want to say it was 330 feet of sheep and goat wire, and we bought 2 things of it, and it was around $600 just for that. So you figure in your posts are like $3 a piece. We put ours 8 foot apart. Now of course the tighter you go, the better, but you always run into something like, I need an extra post here in order to, you know, tighten it up and all that stuff. Or just like me, I put some kickers on each corner to try to tighten it up. So I had extra posts that I had to have, because the post that I have is supposed to do the whole back. So if that tells you anything on the amount that you're going to have to spend, yeah, you can go with electric fence and stuff like that, and that might get you by. But, or you can go with the poly braid wire. But I'm telling you, the best thing you can do is put up at least a good perimeter fence. Because if you don't, and you get animals as small as ours right now, or you have babies by those animals that are a little bigger, they're going to be tantalized constantly with dogs and things of that nature. So, in my mind, it's better off to save your money and spend the money on a good fence. And if you can have it installed by a professional, that makes it even much better, because of course they're going to do a little better job than what you could. Unless you're just good at tightening and straightening the fence. Because the sheep and goat wire is, I'm going to tell you, is very tough to get tight. If I had to go do over again, what I really wanted to do is put cattle panels. They're already tight and everything, and they work a lot better, in my opinion, than sheep and goat fence. But anyways, you want to make sure at least your outside fence that you have around your animals is really good and tight, just to keep other animals out. And you can go out and you can spend $20,000 on a fence. But if you don't take the time and think about what you're doing, you're going to waste all your money on your infrastructure and not on your on your animals. So we've been blessed enough this year to get this fence. And thank God for that. We get this fence and get these animals, and been blessed enough to do that. But if you want to start breeding animals and stuff, and maybe you want to start small, you can go out and get a little bit at a time to fence off a little bit of your yard or wherever you are, and just do it a little at a time. Just put back the fencing, put back a little bit at a time, and you'll have it all done before you know it. That's what I done the last fence I put up. I would go, and every time I go to church, there was a Lowe's right next to us. We just stop on the way. I grab a couple of fence posts, throw on the back of the car. And I've done that for probably 3-4 months. And then we finally got everything together for the fence and stuff. And we finally got it all done. It took time, but we just kept working at it. Every little bit of money we get, we buy a couple fence posts. Or we buy some fencing. And that worked out really well. So if you don't have a lot of money, you can do it that way. So anyways, back to what I'm doing in here. As you see behind me, this is where the gals are going to sleep tonight. As you can see, it's very, very simple. Just a couple of T-posts. I'll show you my junk pile over there. We pretty much just cleaned out the barn and got it to where we could put them in here. So, and this acts as our gate for now. I've got lumber, I can make a gate, that's not a problem. But for now, for tonight, we'll use this. Long term we won't, but for tonight we'll use this. So this is not stretched super tight. For one, I couldn't stretch it that tight in here. So what we're doing is making them around 5 feet apart and getting them stretched kind of tight, and then we're going to lay in the straw. So anyways, that's pretty much all we're doing. Get this flip back around. That's pretty much all we're doing for them for tonight. Plus they've got the barn wall that keeps anything out, and plus they have the actual outside fence, which is stretched super tight, as tight as I can get it, to keep anything out. So see, we've doubled up, and that keeps us from worrying, and that keeps peace of mind. And then once we get the electric on the outside, that'll be another third, fourth layer there. So that will help tremendously. So it's very good that you think about these things before you get livestock. Anyways, I'm going to get to doing this, and I'll show you guys the end result. Hey guys, so we're back. Took a little bit. But anyways, here's what we got. We took our straw, and we put it about probably 6 inches deep. And all we're using this for just for bedding, for them to lay down in. We probably won't keep this in here no more than probably around a week or a week and a half to 2 weeks. We'll go get another bale. The only reason why I want to try to rotate this out, and we do our goats the same way, is to try to keep them healthy. Because they are going to be spending a little bit of time in here. They're not going to always be out roaming around like they are right now. So, then what we'll do with this is we'll take it. Let me turn you guys back around here. What we'll do with this is we'll take it and we'll put it on our pasture, if you want to call it that. But anyways, we'll put it on that, and then we'll let it soak into the ground, and we might throw some more grass seed out. Put this over top, so you'll have your fertilize, plus you'll have it to where the birds won't be able to get to it. So it's kind of a double whammy, if you want to call it that. That's what we done with our stuff from the goats. I'll show you guys that real quick. But that's what we done, is we took, excuse the sun real quick here. That's what we done with the goat manure that we compiled up over a week's period. Because, you know, they urinate on everything, and that's why we like to let them out at least once or twice a day. The weather's been terrible here lately, so not been able to do that. So here's what we done with the goats. So we planted grass seed. You can really tell it's starting to come up. We planted the grass seed, and then we went and put the shavings, the wood shavings, over top. All that's doing for us is just really building the ground. Then also what it's doing for us is it's helping to keep that grass seed bedded down. That way the wind can't get to it. That way the birds don't get to it. Especially this time of year and during the summertime. If you don't cover your grass seed, birds will peck it to death. And pretty much you won't have anything left. And that's what we experienced when we tried to plant some on the pond dam. Even though, I mean, we have some coming up still on the dam, but most of it is, you know, washed away or whatever, and didn't come up. So we done that last year. That's before we started the YouTube channel. But anyways, that's what we're doing. We've got, like I said before earlier in the video, we've got our sheep now working on making our paddock a lot more secure, and working on keeping everybody safe away from the animals and the neighborhood dogs and all that stuff, and the coyotes that come close quite often. So we've got a lot of predator pressure here, a lot, as we have experienced with our chickens. So if you're looking into getting into it, just remember what I said about your fencing and stuff like that. That's number one important. And you guys see me, you know, out in the snow doing this. There's a reason why. I knew that during spring, not to say I know everything, but like I said before, we're learning. But during the spring and around the January, February time frame is when everybody starts kidding sheep and goats. So I knew that if I didn't go ahead and get the fence up early, that I would miss that opportunity. Because, I mean, we've been researching for female pygmy goats for a long time now, trying to find them. And they're very hard to find. The reason why is, at the beginning of the season, you had a lot of people just getting them as quick as they come on the market. So, you know, it's better for you, like if you don't like working out in the winter and all that stuff, I enjoy it. If I'm bundled up enough, I don't care to do that. But because it's just easier, you don't sweat there in the winter, right? So you can put more clothes on, you can't take them all off, right? So that's the reason I done it during the winter time. So, you know, we're set for a little while in the paddock we're in, just because we'll have the pens to put them in the pens, and to keep them from kind of seeing each other, if you know, because we don't want to feed them together, because for one, you know, goats and sheep eat different, and we really don't want to start feeding them together because you know, of the difference in the grains and the copper in them and all that stuff. I don't want to get into all that, but we don't want to feed them different and don't want to have them together just right yet. And especially when our sheep start getting a lot bigger than our goats, I don't want to see, you know, the goats being pushed around. So at some point, we will, like I said, we will have fencing on the backside, and that's where the sheep will go, and then we can be able to let the goats out. So anyhow, it's best to start out small, like I have here, and just get a good fence. If you have to electrify it. You know, if you got neighbors next to you, and you know, just tell them, hey, we're putting up electric fence. You know, don't let your dogs come and touch it or whatever. Just be respectful in that way, and tell them that. So that way you don't have any complications. That's exactly what we done. Of course, that all depends on your neighbors and stuff like that. But you know, because we're not really what I would call necessarily in a farming community, even though we got cows across the street from us. There is some farming in the county that we live in, quite a bit actually. But we are in a rural area, so we're not in a suburb or anything like that. So, do I think that you could have cattle and sheep in your backyard in your half-acre lot in your suburb? Maybe not. Do I think you could have pygmies or Nigerian dwarfs? Yes, I do, depending on your protocols in your neighborhood. Could you have a lot of them? Probably not. But you could have a few. Our little Nigerian, our little pygmy dwarf goats, or pygmy goats, they are very small, hardly make any noise at all during the day until they get hungry. You know, just like if I walk to you, if you can't hear them, they're over belly aching right now. So, got to get these ladies over to my right put up so they can get out. So, you could have goats in a small setting, because a lot of people keep goats now as pets. That's not my forte. I don't really like animals that much in the house. But some people like that, and that's okay. That's your choice, right? So, but you could keep them on like a half-acre lot if you have that. And they'll eat the grass, and they'll eat, you know, the things that they like. So, that's an option for you. If that's what you want, you could have chickens. That's an option for you. I know people that I work with right now that lived in a city, in a suburb, and had chickens in their backyard. So, I mean, in a very large city. If I mention the city, everybody would know it. So, anyways, you could do that. So, you know, when you first start out, it's best, if you have no knowledge at all, it's best to research that. And get your feet on the ground that way. And then start out small. And I've heard a lot of other channels on YouTube say the same thing. Start out small and grow into that. Grow into the bigger animals. And that's exactly what we're doing. You know, a few years back, we didn't even have our quote-unquote barn/garage finished. And like I said before, it don't look pretty. But as you can tell, it serves the purpose, right? So, anyways, you know, we went and bought a few years back a bottle-fed calf. I'll never do that again. So that's a terrible way to start. Terrible idea. It's best probably to start with like chickens or small goats. It's just best to do that. So, anyways, I'm gonna jump off of here and get to moving our sheep into their pens so our goats can get out and hopefully be quiet. So, but until next time, you guys have a good Easter holiday. We'll see you on the next video.